Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live here on this Friday, January 31st, 2020. I hope you guys will join me today for a couple of shows. Our first show is going to be a celebration of life for Mr. Kobe Bryant, as well as some of the others who we lost this week in that horrific accident. But I wanted to come on today to talk a little bit about the lessons. I wanted to talk about how this affected me, and I'm sure how it affected so many other people. But, things happen in life that we have no control over. They just happen. But it's how we respond to those things. I have this saying, and this is in the most respectful way. It is what it is. That means that once it's, dirt is dirt, water is water. When you leave, you're gone. So I have a perspective and a couple of perspectives that I want to share with you today. And I will tell you, and I will be very honest, and I want to speak very frank and very raw, is that I was affected by this. I didn't follow basketball. But I follow, as someone said, I think in a post, excellence and achievement and discipline and hard work. I definitely follow that. But I will tell you, when I heard about this accident and the fact that we lost Mr. Bryant, that was terrible. But then when I heard about his daughter and everyone else, it just added salt to the wounds. So I remember going to bed that night, kind of wishing that it might have been a dream, but I kind of knew that it wasn't. And tears were just rolling down my cheeks. I didn't know them, but I followed them because of the life that he lived and the achievements. Today, we're also going to have on our second show, have some special guests on, but we'll be celebrating the life of Steve Nasty Anderson. Now, some of you might not know who that is, but I'm telling you, in the martial arts karate world, they really know who he is. And we lost him last week. So we're also going to be having a great time and celebrating his life a little bit later. Hey, but don't think I'm going to be all somber. That is not the case. We're going to have a good time because this is about the lessons that I'm taking away from the passing of Mr. Bryant and the others. I always want to thank our sponsors of Blackout Gear. I always have to give them a shout out for what they do for us and helping us out and bringing this show to you. Blackoutfights.com and Atlantic Beach, the Eastern Offset Printing in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. All right, guys. So let's move forward here about what this is all about and how I want to handle this. Thank you, Mr. Kobe Bryant. Thank you for a life well lived. Thank you for not being perfect, but being good and being able to make mistakes and make those changes and make those adjustments and be a better man. That's what I'm excited about. And these are the lessons that I learned from you. Well, it was a reaffirmation for me that the way I try to live and being a good person, being a good man, doing good deeds, right, is important because we do not know when that day and that time and that moment is coming that we're going to leave this earth as we know it. We don't know. And that should give us pause to treat people good with respect and try to pass on our wisdom and our knowledge and the things that we can do to enhance and make this society that much better. So the things that happened this week, again, we can't change it. We can mourn and we're going to hurt. But now let's take this lesson and let's move forward and make ourselves better. So let the celebration begin. Before we do that, there's an old saying in Africa that when you call somebody's name, you bless them. And then our Kwanzaa celebrations that we have, we will call out our ancestors' name of those who have gone on, and we will follow with the words Ashe, right? It's like a blessing. So what I'm going to do in that tradition is that for everyone who was on the plane, there are families there that are hurting. There are families there that are affected and will be affected for many, many years to come. And we know that. But we also know that they will find the strength to move forward. This is why I use the term forward march, because whatever happens to us, no matter how bad we get beat down, no matter how bad things are, we still have to move forward. We still have to strive and be our very best so that we can achieve and accomplish the things that we need to achieve for ourselves and help others also achieve the things that they need to do in life. So as I call out these names, if you will whisper to yourself or wherever you are the words, I say, it is a blessing. Mr. John Altabelli, I say. Carrie Altabelli, I say. Alicia Altabelli, I say. Christina Mauser, I say. Sarah Chester and Peyton Chester, I say. Ari Zobayan, I say. Gianna Bryant, I say. And Mr. Kobe Bryant, I say. May they all rest in peace. But let's not let their lives and the losing of their lives be in vain. Let's celebrate. Let's learn some of the lessons that were taught. One of the things I recognized Mr. Bryant for was that he had a really strong work ethic. All of his people talked about how hard he worked to accomplish and do the things that he did. Me as a former fighter, I understand that work ethic and understand that if you work hard at whatever you want to accomplish in life, that you can accomplish those things. If you don't reach the moon, at least you'll be among the stars, as they say. But you gotta have a stronger work ethic. Mr. Kobe Bryant was a worker. And that is why he achieved the things that he achieved. If you want to be successful in life, you have to put in the work. Thank you, Mr. Bryant, for that tremendous reaffirmation. I remember, as I said earlier, that I wasn't so much into basketball, but I appreciate the excellence and the hard work and the things that you can accomplish if you put it in. Put the work in, people. Make that choice today that whatever you're doing, you're going to give it 110% and you are going to make it happen. I promise you there'll be tremendous change. Another thing that affected me was the fact that Mr. Bryant was a good father. He was a great father to his daughters. And when you think about life and the things that could go wrong and the time that you have on this planet, the time, the valuable time that you spend with not only your family, but your friends is immeasurable. It is just something else. You have to put in the time with your family. And Mr. Bryant put that time in with his children. It made me kind of rethink everything. I work hard, yes, but my children are just so important to me. And I just happen to have 2 daughters and a son. So I remember on that morning, it made me, hug my daughter and call my other daughter and everything, because it certainly is something to think about when something like this happens. So hopefully you guys will take note of the fact that Your family is everything. You work hard to make sure they have whatever they need to be successful. I know that's my mentality. I give it my all every day when I wake up to make sure that my family has whatever they need to go out into the world and be successful. That was a great lesson. And I will tell you that Mr. Bryant had that close relationship. And in fact, they died doing what they love to do. Oh my goodness, when I leave here, let me die doing what I love. If I am living out my passion, and I do live my passion, as you see, that life is good. So when that time comes, when it's all over and it's all said and done, I want to be that guy that you say, wow, man, he was doing what he loved. And that's me. So I remember this saying. I remember my mom used to love this song. She used to say, may the work I've done speak for me. It was an old spiritual song. May the work I've done speak for me. That means that when you go out into the world, everything that you do, that you make an impression on somebody, that you do things so that people will say, wow, he changed my life. Wow, he made a difference. This is what I'm hearing about Mr. Kobe Bryant. All the great things that he did to help people. All of these, the gyms that he is invested in and the way he was helping out the kids. That's what it's all about. May the work I've done speak for me. Mr. Kobe Bryant, it is being spoken loud and clear today for you by millions of people around the world. May the work I've done speak for me. That's what I want. For all of you kickboxers out there and all of the martial artists and the things that I've done and if I've touched you and if I've done something to help you out along the way, when I'm gone, I want you to say, darn it, that Johnny Davis gave it his all. That Johnny Davis helped me here. That Johnny Davis helped the sport. That Johnny Davis took it from here to there. This is what we're saying about Mr. Kobe Bryant today. And not only him, the coach that was with him. I understand he was a great coach, did some great work, and helped out a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand what coaches give to help people go to that next level. And again, I'm here today just to remind you of this great, great lesson. Another part about family, and this is kind of personal to me. There was a time when Mr. Bryant got in a little trouble with his, wife. We're not going to go into that, but it's reality, which shows he wasn't perfect. And neither are you, or neither am I. But what I love about that story is that he apologized, he asked for forgiveness, and then they worked and they moved on. Oh my goodness, can I tell you something about that on a personal level? Too many of us are so quick to give up every time the storm comes. Every time there's a little rain, every time there's a little thunder, we're ready to run and get out of the weather. Sometimes you got to put the umbrella over you, right? Sometimes you got to put your raincoat on. Sometimes you got to stay through the storm. Sometimes you just got to hang in there. And if you hang in there long enough, things will get better. They will get better. If you focus on that target. My wife always tells me, focus on the prize. Don't lose sight of the prize. What happened in that relationship where they stayed together? It was almost like instinctively he knew that he would not be on this planet that long. So he needed to make things right, and he needs to work it out with his wife, work it out so to the point where they had more kids, more blessings on this earth. And in that, look, oh my goodness, look at the beautiful family on the screen. But if he would have decided to leave it, or she would have decided, let's leave it alone. Hey, you know what? Perhaps he would not have left these blessings here. One went with him, but you know what? 2, 3 more stayed. These are the things that you need to look at in life. These are lessons that you can learn from this. We can't change the tragedy of what already happened, but we can look at it as an example in our own lives. And as a result of that, we can live for the better. That's what I'm going for today. Mr. Kobe Bryant had a great life. Those with him had great lives. They're gone. But what about you? What are you doing in your life to make your life better and make those around you better? What legacy will you leave here? May the work I've done speak for me. Get busy. If you're not getting busy and you're not making things happen, right, then you need to ask why. I digress. But in that relationship, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, I could tell some stories where I hurt someone and had to come back and ask for an apology. Lucky for me, I got one. Won't do that crap again. And sometimes it's not all about cheating. It's all about impressions. It's all about the way. Like I've been told that sometimes it's not about what your intentions were. It's about how you ultimately made someone feel. And if you do that and you apologize for it and then you say correct that, then move on. Trust me when I say this. I have my story, but there is nothing more important than your family. And Mr. Bryant was in his family. He loved his wife. His wife loved him. They created a great union together. And therefore, they had a great message that they left the world. Whether you want to look at that or not, that message to people like me, right? The importance of staying together, the importance of raising your kids, because that is where the consequence will really show, especially if you have kids. If your ego's too big, if you're too selfish to look at, wow, this is all about me and not about my kids, or all about me and not about XYZ, then you lose. Sometimes you have to take a moment. Sometimes you take that moment and you say, you know what? Perhaps I need to take a look. I need to take a look. I need to take a look at myself. And I need to ask myself, what can I do to be better? How can I make this right? Put your ego in your back pocket. Some of you people out there in relationships today, you give up too fast. I'm telling you right now. You think there's no end. You think, oh my God, get counseling, whatever you need. Call me, whatever I can tell you. But the bottom line is that what I love about what he did with his wife years ago, he fixed it. That don't mean the feelings are not hurt. That don't mean things are perfect. It just means that they found mutual ground and they worked it out. They worked it out. And their families now, look at them, beautiful family. The ones that are still here, will carry on. And I want to give my sincere condolences to the wife of Mr. Bryant and really the husband of, I think it was Mauser and everybody, but in particular, that mom is one strong woman. She put some words on Facebook the other day, on Instagram. And if you get a chance, definitely find those words. I think that they are words to live by and shows that they're going to try their best to move forward and to do the very best they can. And they, even with that, they have a fundraiser set up and different, things. But all of that information is on Facebook. And I want you to go and check that out. You can go to Mamba on 3 is one of the, I think it's on Instagram or something like that, that you can find the information to donate, to make donations to. They want to further the Kobe and Gianna legacy in youth sports. So you can go to mambasportsfoundation.org, right? So there is some things that will continue their legacy. And I think that that those are the kind of things, if you can help, you should definitely try to give and to help their legacy stay alive, because those are the good things, some of the good things that he did. May the work he's done speak for him. It is speaking loud and clear, Mr. Kobe Bryant. I want to thank you for the inspiration that you've given me to keep working harder. I am going to work harder now. I'm going to love my family even more because, again, we do not know when that time is going to come. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now, give your loved ones a call. Give them a hug. Hold their hand. Don't be to the point where when they go to bed at night, you don't tell them that you love them. When they wake up in the morning, tell them you love them. Because I'm telling you right now, tomorrow is not promised. The next minute, the next hour is not promised. It is not. And I'm telling you, to be honest, that accident was one of the worst I've ever seen. But we have to find the silver lining in this thing. We have to find the silver lining to be able to make sense of that. How does something like that happen? So find the silver lining and let's be the best that we can be. Let's take this message. Even though we didn't ask for it, let's take the message and let's make sure that we live life to its fullest measure. Fullest, 110%. That's what it's all about. That is what I wanted to share with you today. I just wanted to say something positive. I know everybody's down, everybody's hurting, and there's more mourning and hurting to come. I still feel it, but I also know that, again, it's a stark reminder that we can do better. And let me just say this in closing. Right now, this country is divided. We're bickering, we're fighting, we're not getting along, we're not looking each other in the eyes anymore, we're not speaking in restaurants, we're not speaking in ghosts. That's the truth, we are not. Now you think about it. Think about it. Tomorrow, it could all be over. All those things that you're trying to protect, all those things could be gone in the flash of an eye. Is it worth it? It's not worth it. Love your fellow man. Let's respect each other. Let's get along. Hey guys, we're going to be back up here around 1 o'clock with another segment and have some special guests on. Mr. Joe Corley, Mr. John Terrien, great world kickboxing champion, Jean-Yves Theriault, and maybe a few others. But we're going to celebrate the life of Mr. Steve Nasty Anderson coming up at 1 o'clock. Hope you guys will join us. I thank you guys for checking in on us today, and we will see you real soon. As always, we want to thank you for watching Johnny Davis Live. You can check us out on Facebook, or also YouTube at Johnny Davis Live, Instagram, PKB_kickboxing. Always, guys, Fort March, respect each other. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.